Let's explore the new photo restoration tool. I'm really excited at what the team developed. Look at this. Here's one of the original images. This was scanned from TNF camera, and look at the change. In fact, let's go through all of them. And it just doesn't work on portraits also. It works on vehicles. It works on images that were extremely damaged. Look how bad this Polaroid shot was, and look at the change. It did the same thing here. Look at this. All the scratches. And then I did these on my family photos too. So here's my mother with my sister, my parents on their wedding day. This was, what, 1949? Now, here's this last one I want to show you, which I think is really comical. We'll do this one right here. I'm going to revert it to original. My brother Joe is watching TV. He used his Apple phone, took a picture and said, hey, what can your program do with this? Now, if you get images like this, let me show you what we're going to do first. All right, so before you just drag and drop it into restoration, let's just prepare it. And again, I would have them reshoot this and use a scanner, but let's just see what we can do here. I am going to come in, crop it. Now it's only going to focus on this area here and apply. Look how bad this image is. Now, drag and drop it into photo restoration. Now, what's really neat about this is the tool will work in the background. So I'm going to explain what each of these options are, but let's just hit restore real quick. Let it do its thing. Full color scratches. Well, if I click on the information icon, this is going to give me a quick tip on what the tool does. Not just for this tool, but for all of our tools. But if you click learn more, watch this. It takes you right to the user manual, to that location, and now we can see exactly what the tools do. Here we have full, color, and scratches. All right. So full is going to remove the scratches and restore the colors. That's the default. Color is going to add lifelike color to black and white photos. Then, of course, scratches is going to keep the original tones while it fixes the entire image. All right. So that's what that does there. Now, it's finished. Here's that image. It puts it into a folder called restoration. Now, if you don't like the result, just do it over again. From here, watch what we're going to do. I'm going to take the image, and we photographers like putting it back where the image came from. So I'm going to put it back to before and after. Let's go to the bottom. I did it a few times. All right. And I'll use this image right here. So I'll take this image. And by the way, here was another attempt. And look what it did. It blended everything in. If it doesn't do it the right way the first or that time that you want, run it again or use Gen Swap, Gen Erase. Whatever you need to do is use the tools that we have. Now, I'm going to use this one here. In fact, I'm going to go to adjustment. Here we are. So here's the original. And what I did to this was simple. I came over here and I went to our portrait tools. And under the portrait tools, face, my grandmother's eyes. In fact, let me get the other image. I'll use this image right here. All right. So here we are with the portrait tools. We're going to come in and here we are. I'm going to work on her eyes. I know my grandmother had brown eyes. So let's just change the eye color to brown. Dial it back a little bit. Maybe put a little flare into it. Enhance the eye color or the iris or the eye enhancer. That looks great. Now, just because I can doesn't mean I should. I'm not going to soften her skin. I want her to look like my grandmother. So I'm going to leave that as is. The only thing I probably will do is come down to super contrast and let's just work on the skin tone. There we go. Look at that. It's a little too much. About here. There we go. Before, after, and now we have it. And again, we could just for the sake of time come in and just crop it right about there. And now we have the image. How neat is that? So, real simple. We drag, drop it, and let it do its thing. If you want to take a an image like this here and you want to convert it back to black and white, then, well, first just use the original, scratches. But if you want the full features of it, use Luminar Neo's black and white feature and convert it back. The sky's the limit. I can't wait to see what you guys do with this new restoration tool. Make sure you share it and let us know how it turns out.